Howdy, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
Together, we're
therapist.
the most famous physical therapist on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
Today, we're
Bob.
going to talk about the 5 worst pieces of fitness advice. That's not, you don't like 5, you want 7, don't you?
Well, we could come up with 7, but we better stick at the 5, and we don't want to have this carrying on too long.
That's right. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. This little sign contains the media platforms that we're on, social media. Definitely want to join us on Instagram. We just started official Bob and Brad.
Right.
We're going to have some neat pics on there.
That means pictures.
Yeah, I like to use the lingo of the young kids now.
Yeah, you're getting into that pretty good, Bob.
All right, and we're also going to go ahead. You want to join us on Facebook, Bob and Brad, because Bob and Brad, we hope that we're going to hit 1 million subscribers pretty soon.
We will.
And Brad, I like the positive attitude.
You better believe it.
And so we want to make sure you join us because we're going to be giving away lots of crap. No,
Oh,
good stuff.
Bob,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
Is that the lingo? Is that the lingo, Bob?
No. All right, let's get to the topic at hand.
Okay, 5 worst
5
pieces
worst.
of it.
Number 1, if you want to lose weight, you have to exercise. Exercise, yes, is definitely good. And yes, exercise can help. But if you want to lose weight, you definitely have to put less calories in your pie hole.
Oh, Bob.
But you do, though. I mean, it's weight loss is more of a eating thing than it is an exercise thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. And I think more so as you get older, in your 30s and 40s and so on. You know, maybe in your 20s, people are less likely to gain weight and still eat a fair amount.
Right.
But I think age has a definite influence on
This
that.
is neither here nor there, but we visited our daughter out in Portland and Seattle, I'm sorry, and we went to both places. And I saw more out of shape people jogging in that area than I ever did in my life. And I think they all have, work for Amazon and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they're doing desk jobs all day long,
Sure.
and they're probably eating.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd go for a run at night thinking that solved it. But I mean, I'm not kidding you. Every person I would see, I'm sorry, Seattle. We like Seattle. It's a nice city. But there was a lot of out of shape people running. You would notice it. I bet you if I brought you there, you would notice it.
They might be in shape, but they're larger
shape.
girth.
Yeah, better shape than, I mean, running's better than not running.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Number 2, and we've heard this for years, no pain, no gain. It's really a bad strategy for lifelong exercise. I don't want to put down another fitness program, but, P90X,
Mm-hmm.
really intensive, really works well.
Right.
People I've seen that have been on it have been, really got buff.
Sure.
But they don't stick with it because it's just too hard and it's just too much pain.
Right. There are some personalities that will.
There's some personalities that will.
I have a friend that does it 13-week program. He sticks with it, and that's the only person I know. Everyone else is, it's a really good thing to do. They made it through 6 weeks of it or whatever, and then they sit on the shelf.
That's right.
The
Or they
program
sell
does.
it.
I think, no pain, no gain is, on the movies, it's really good, in high school and the professional
Right.
football.
Exactly.
Or
When you're in,
professional people. But the average person, I work out really hard once a week, and that's with a friend of mine that can do the P90X.
Sure.
And I really enjoy it, but I only do that
that's once a week.
Right.
Exactly.
The rest of the week, I back it off, and I enjoy it. And I still get a good workout, but I'm not going that extent.
That's a good point, Brad. What we recommend is moderate exercise, for 40 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. And that moderate exercise can be walking, jogging,
Sure.
swimming, dancing, volleyball, shooting baskets, more stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, you need to carbo load. And, probably not, unless you're going to be exerting yourself the next day for greater than 90 minutes. Like, let's say you're going to be doing like a marathon or
Sure.
a triathlon.
Sure.
Then you probably need to carbo load.
And there are not a lot of people in society that do that. Unless you're in that community, then you know a lot of people. But in general, looking across everything else, 30 minutes is oftentimes a typical workout for a lot of people.
If you're going to do a 5K race the next day, you don't need to carbo load. What's better is that you eat a regular meal and then cut back on your training that day, because then your muscles are going to have time to store carbs.
Yeah.
So,
And if you're talking that competitive level, even if you're the average person, but you want to go out and do a 5K and really get your time down and you've been working out, you've got to look at you've got to do some reading, you've got to do some
Right.
research, and then see how your body works. Because I know different people
I
have
agree with that, Brad.
different ways their body
I
responds.
think we're going to find out in the future that's the way things are, is that you can't have one recipe for everybody.
Right.
Because I found things that have been working for me, and then I'll hear the plant-based people that'll go a little crazy and say, no, that's not going to work. Well, it's working for me. My markers are down.
Sure.
Everything's good. So
I just spoke to a gentleman, 60 years old, long distance runner, ultra runner. He ran his first 100 miler this year.
wow,
He'd been working on it for 7 years, and he always broke down at like mile 60 or 70. But he's talking about another person he knows in that community. It's in the La Crosse area. And guess what this guy uses for diet while he's running?
What's
Because you
he
got to
does?
eat while you're
Right.
running throughout the day. Pizza and Mountain Dew.
oh wow, that
I think he was
I
a
don't
younger
agree with
guy.
that.
No, I don't either. But I mean, he's done it. He's run 100 milers, and that's what he's
Wow.
eating during the races. What he's told me.
Wow.
We've got to get this guy on.
Yeah, we do. We got to find
He's
out
not
more.
the pizza guy, but the guy that's 60 years old
Sure.
and doing ultras. It's like, he's
Wow.
not the one eating the pizza.
Okay. Oh God.
He's got a
Feel
different
better.
recipe for his running. But anyways, I think it is unique to the individual.
Yeah. Next time, number 4, or next one, number 4. You're gonna have people are gonna say the best time to work out is definitely the morning, and then you're gonna have people, no, the best time to work out is definitely the evening,
Mm-hmm.
and they both have sound reasoning. In the morning, they'll say, well, it establishes your metabolism, and you have increased energy. You give you a natural high that goes right into the afternoon.
Sure.
And then there's people that say, no, you want to work out at night because it's going to burn off the day's calories, and then you're going to sleep really well.
Sure.
So, and they both have merit, but to be honest, it's going to be more an individual thing. What
I think
works
so
out best
too.
for you.
Sometimes just when can you fit it in the day?
Right.
Not regardless of how the physiology works out. I like to do it in the morning just because it's out of the way then. And I
Right.
have to think about if I get a busy day or something comes up in the middle of the day that runs into the evening, then you can't get it in.
I've
sometimes.
done both, and I've also I got to the point where you got so tired at night you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But some rules of thumb here. You want to avoid high intensity training right before you go to bed because
Sure.
it can set off chemicals that can make it hard for you to sleep.
Yeah.
Although I've never had that problem. I mean, seriously, when I work out at night, I could fall asleep 2 seconds after
Really?
I'm done working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually don't work out that late, so I don't know.
The best time for weight training is when you can put forth the maximal effort. And I remember I used to lift a lot of weights, and I tried lifting in the morning one time. Oh, it was terrible. I mean, I tried it once, and that was it. So for me, it's got to be more of the evening.
Yeah.
So, and number 3, try to avoid exercise right after eating a meal. You got all that digestion going on and stuff
Sure.
like that. So you
Right.
certainly could do it if you're doing a small meal. If you're breaking the meals up, you certainly could work out.
Right. I think that one kind of is one that most people would agree with. And a lot of this, there's a lot more breaking down. Are you a weightlifter? Are you looking to build your muscles? Are you an aerobic type of person? Or are you just trying to get some, going for a walk? So again, I really think it's individual to the person's
They're right.
chemistry, their body, and then as well as what their goals are.
That's a very good point. All right, the last one's just kind of my personal pet
Oh,
peeve.
yeah.
Do you want to give me a booyah stick here,
Oh,
Brad?
of course, Bob.
So, all right, got to say the word.
Booyah.
All right, so let's say this is a weight bar. And, we're going to have people, we've talked many times about one of the worst positions to put your back in while you're
Sure.
lifting weights is this rounded out position. So like if you're doing, like, what does this be, rows?
Right.
Um,
or the good morning where it's
or
over your shoulders.
Yeah, it's like this,
Right.
and then you're doing these, right?
Yep. You're going all the way down
All
to
the way
that.
down
Yes.
with a rounded out back. And I've had people that argue with us online and
Mhm.
elsewhere that say, well, how are you supposed to strengthen your back, in those bad positions
Sure.
if you don't put it in those bad positions? It's just,
We've got a number of videos on options where you
Yeah.
can strengthen the back muscles without straining the spine, and particularly in the discs.
right. And anybody who talks that way, I can guarantee if you do those for a while, you're just going to hurt your back. There's just no way you're going to strengthen your back enough in that position. And we've based a lot of this on science. We had Knockerson's studies that
Right.
show how much stress there's on the disc when you're in those bad positions. So,
Well, I disagree with you a little bit, Bob. I think there's a number of people who are genetically sound. They'd use good mechanics, and they'll do them for years, and they're not going to hurt their back. But across the board, generally, the average person, oftentimes doesn't use good
I'm
body
going to say
mechanics.
90%. So
Yeah, okay. I would.
we
yeah,
don't know.
We don't know, but
So, yeah.
we've been in therapy for a long time, and we see a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So we're talking to help the masses out here.
I've just had people that literally, it's almost humorous because they'll argue and they'll say, yeah, after I had my back surgery, and they just throw that in there casually. I'm like, well, so you had back surgery. I mean, so you did hurt your back that way. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the 5 worst pieces of advice coming from Bob and Brad, who are probably the worst people to get advice from, right?
Well, Bob, we're working on it every day. But again, we're still working on that.
We can fix just about anything
Except for
a broken heart.
Right there.
We're working on it, though. Thanks.